So, my name's Emily. I am the founder of VA Vida. I started it roughly, I think, about in April of this year. Before starting VA Vida, I was in a corporate job, office job, doing event management and project management for corporate team away days. So, it was very high intensity, very stressful, and just a very big commitment. And I just basically wanted something different. So I came across your page, Neve, and that was it really. There was no holding me back after that.
I love that. And then, when did you decide to like step away from that kind of corporate role? Were you just done with it and thought like this is just not for me anymore? What was the kind of tipping point for you to, I guess, leave that and like look into other options?
Well, I think I'd had quite should we say exciting year the year before. I'd actually been signed off sick. I had a lot going on in my personal
Yeah.
life. I was in a very intense job role, and I was really struggling with balancing my work like home situation,
Yeah.
making sure to give myself time off, and just really struggling with burnout, I think. So it'd been kind of in the back of my mind that I wanted to find something that would give me more freedom, give me more time to kind of do the things I love and spend time with the people I love and not be constantly thinking about work. You know
Yeah.
that when you wake up at like 2 a.m. in the morning, you
You're
just think, oh
like,
my gosh, I need to add that to my to-do list right now.
yeah, it's
I
not
just kind of
ideal.
wanted to get away from that. So then I think after returning to the office after being on off for a little while, I just found it really hard to get back into like the routine and
Yeah.
just decided to make a change following on from that.
Yeah. Okay. I love that. And I think that a lot of people will resonate to just being like so burnt out, so frazzled, and knowing that like they can't continue like that for their physical and mental well-being. It's just in a lot of industries, it is really hard to have a job like that and have a personal life and be, still be feeling well at the end of the day. So I definitely think that's something people will resonate with. And what did you find was like the transferable skills that you had when it came to starting this business?
So I think that was always something I wasn't 100% sure on. I mean, confidence is something I am really lacking in, or was really lacking in. When we had our first call, it wasn't until we started talking through kind of my old job role where I started to realize, oh my gosh, I actually do have some skills that I can use in this job.
Yeah.
So mainly my like organizational skills. I love designing graphics. It's something I've always been really interested in. During my time off for my last job, I actually created and started selling a book
Love
for
that.
mental health, which is kind of what sparked it off in the first place. So
Yeah.
creative design, like project management, organization, just being on top of loads of little jobs, I think, and just managing a really hectic schedule is something that I got really good at working in events and project management. So I'd say that was like the main transferable skill.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel like you can do a lot in life when, as there's a lot of hardship with those kind of roles, but there's a lot that you can do with those skills that you had, and like you don't have to use them to the extremes that you would have before. But it is great to have had those skills that you can easily pull to the business. Because I feel like a lot of people come and they're like, oh, I don't know if I have the skills, but like once you actually audit your skills and like start writing them out, you find that you actually have a ton of things that you can offer like straight off the bat with your experience. And then you have really taken to social media. Like, go check out social media. Guys, if you are watching the replay, social media, I feel like has been one of your strong points as well since you started. Is that something that you had experience with?
No, I had absolutely no experience with social media before. I was like, I just used to put up the normal like holiday pics,
Yeah.
after a trip to Europe or whatever. And that was the only experience that I'd really had. And since finding, your course and learning all about the different aspects of social media, it was something I just kind of got a little bit hooked on. And I'm a bit I'm a bit geeky when I find something that I like. I like nerd out hard, and I will like spend ages researching different things and watching YouTube videos and things like that. So when I came across social media, I just kind of got invested. And now I absolutely love it. I love making content. I love designing graphics for posts and like reusing it for stories and across other platforms, and making reels, as you know, is one of my
Yeah.
new favorite things.
Amazing. I feel like it's just one of the, and that's what I think the beauty of starting your own business is there's like skills that everyone has that just haven't got to be like nurtured yet, and you still don't know that they're there to be uncovered. And I also think it's interesting because I know when you started, you were resistant about video content. So your Instagram was looking beautiful with lots of Canva graphics for weeks, I'm pretty sure. And then just one day, you just kind of like snapped out of it, and like now you have like so many reels on your page, and I've seen the confidence that's been built every single one that you've made, and every single time you put yourself out there. Like, how did you overcome that barrier?
Well, I remember the day exactly I posted my first reel. I was so freaking nervous. And I remember you gently pushed me, or a little bit more than gently
Yeah.
pushed me into doing it, as you do with most of the people on the course. And I just, once I'd done it, I was like, okay, first one done. It wasn't so bad, but I was still like, you listen to it and you kind of cringe on the inside a little bit
Yeah.
at hearing your own voice. And then you started doing your 15 days or 15 reels in
Yes.
15 days challenge. And I was just like, why not? Let's give it a go. I'm up for a challenge. And
Yeah.
then I just started researching trending reels and audios, and thought about different ways that I could apply that to kind of the services that I was trying to offer.
Yeah.
And I think just from there, I snowballed, you know, like that cheese that rolls down the hill. I just got
Yeah.
faster and faster and faster, and just like built momentum with it, and just kind of found the fun in it rather than the embarrassment, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And like, so it came from just like ripping the band-aid off and doing that first one, and then like realizing that like everything was okay, like you're still safe, everything's still good. And then it just started going from there.
Yeah, I think you just have to find like the style of reels
Yeah.
that fits your personality. Like I know some people like more factual reels, or like sitting down and talking to the
Yeah.
camera. I'm really bad at that. I hate seeing my face for a long period of time. But like, you know, a short 8 to 15 second
Yeah.
reel
The
with
fun
an
ones.
audio is a bit more my style. So I think it's just important to find the thing that suits you really.
Yeah, I love that. And just off the back of that, I think this is why it's so important that like you push yourself, and that you did, because you ended up getting a client. I actually was talking to her earlier for a project that I'm working on, who hired you to help her with reels, and she was telling me how incredible you were and how talented you were and how happy she is with working with you. But you would have got that opportunity because you posted so many reels and got so much experience doing something new that you weren't, you went from having like no social media skills to getting hired to help people with social media within like 3 4 months. Like that's incredible in itself. And I think that is a great reminder for anyone listening of like how fast things can move once you start.
Yeah, it is definitely a big leap from where I started to where I am now, and I love working with her too. So
Yeah.
just putting that out there on the live.
So nice. And then on that note, tell us a little bit about some of the kind of clients that you've worked with, the kind of different, because I feel like you're working with people in different industries. Like what kind of industries have you worked in terms of projects, current clients, like past clients, all the kind of good stuff there?
Yeah, so I know some people kind of knuckle down into one specific area. I haven't really done that. I guess I flip-flopped around like a fish a little bit, like because I just go off the people rather than the specific industry. For me,
Yeah.
it seems to work best. So if I find a client or connect with someone and we have kind of the same similar vibe and style, um, I tend to go more with that rather than picking a specific area to work in. So I've
Yeah.
worked with travel companies doing engagement and lead sourcing,
Amazing.
worked with physical therapists, um, another kind of PR marketing agency, events companies. I've done loads of different things, to be honest. It's hard to like narrow them all down, but they've all been quite different.
Yeah.
Yeah, the main jobs I'm doing are kind of more social media related, like content creation and reel editing, things like that.
Amazing. And I think that's just like a really good takeaway is that like you definitely don't have to niche down. I'm such an advocate of not niching down in the early days because you do then get the opportunity to work with lots of different people doing lots of different cool things. And I think it is more about like resonating with like a person's values with them and having that connection with them rather than like the actual industry they're in, especially when a lot of business models are very, very similar in terms of
Mhm.
they're a business, a small business selling a service or a small business selling a product. At the end of the day, the strategies that you would use, the business model is built very similarly.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think it's important as well to like to be able to have the freedom to design for different kind of styles so you
Yeah.
can figure out what you actually like and where you kind of get more creative and things, and then if you want to niche down you can niche down, but for now I just kind of enjoy working with as many people that I connect with as possible
Yeah.
because that's the whole reason I wanted to start, was because I wanted to help people who are struggling to like stay on top of workload, or like people that I would really hate to see in the same kind of burnout situation that I was in before.
Yeah, amazing. So it ends up being like purposeful work because you know you're supporting people like not be in the situation you were. And what has been like, I guess, your favorite services to offer since you started? Like, has it been the events that you came from? Has it been the new social media skills? Like, has it been the websites? I know that you've built some websites. Fill me in.
Hmm. Well, I kind of, when I first started this, I thought I would kind of fall straight back into like doing events and
Yeah,
projects for people. But honestly, I've loved doing the social media, like the content design for Instagram feeds, or like even just sitting down and coming up with a really fun content calendar for people is probably one of my main favorite things to do. Websites I really enjoy if I've got good Wi-Fi.
yeah, right.
Because I move around quite a lot. If I'm having a bad Wi-Fi day, it's more stressful than I like it to be.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, content creation and social media, I would say is my main favorite thing. And with one of my clients at the moment, or one of the girls I'm working with, she's teaching me a little bit more about her style of working and her techniques for lead sourcing, and I'm actually starting to learn a lot more about that and kind of enjoy
Amazing.
that a bit
Yeah.
more, so it's fun to like collaborate and learn from people at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. I just there's so much upskilling that you can do in different areas. And I think once you find a couple areas you're interested in to just double down on like learning as much as you can, which I feel like is what you have done from day one. You've kind of leaned into what you have enjoyed. And where have you found that there's been opportunities? Like where have you come across like projects you've worked on or different clients that you've had over the last few months? Have they been through Instagram, word of mouth, bit of a mix?
I've had a couple of recommendations come through,
Nice.
so word of mouth. I've had a couple of inquiries come through Instagram from
Yeah,
people that have seen like the posts and reels that I've been doing,
amazing.
and just liked my style of content. And
Yeah,
then I've even like just been out and about and talking with people, and then had inquiries come through, just conversations with people who
yeah,
asked about what I do. Um, which I would like to have conversation with people face to face if possible, or
yeah.
like people that see my Instagram and connect with the type of content that I make. I love that because it already puts you on like a good solid footing from the
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah, for sure. And that's why like I'm such a I literally just did like training earlier on like camera confidence. It's like people come to your page, they can see your vibe instantly, they can see the kind of person you are because you're on camera and because like they can get it
Yeah.
like your videos are fun, they're creative, they're kind of bold. Like it's and you know you're going to resonate with like people that are looking for that kind of vibe for their business, and you won't be for everyone, but that's not what you're trying to be. And I think that's really important to like, you know, as your business grows to keep bringing in like, you know, dream clients is that you are showcasing you and what makes you different and unique. And you have a very interesting like career background as well. And I really feel like that's like a unique selling point for you of like how much attention to detail would have been necessary in the roles that you would have worked in. And I think just like, you know, you've really showcased that. And I've have no doubt that that's going to like continue as well to help your business grow like over the coming months and years.
Yeah, it's been really good. And I think my previous job, I absolutely loved the team of people that I used to work with, and I loved the type of job that I was doing. I think it taught me a lot of skills, like moving forward into where I am now.
For sure.
So really, I just have to say thank you to them as well.
Yeah.
But it's great, honestly. No, I'm having the best time with it, and it's just nice to finally like find something that I feel passionate about every single day, not
Yeah,
just in the beginning, like every single day.
it is. It's very exciting. And on that note, what has been like the best part of setting up your own business, the most enjoyable part?
I think the freedom to um, like choose my hours or allocate my hours in a way that works best for me. I think I did a post about it a little while ago. It was like, I find that I'm more productive in the mornings. I know you're not a morning
Yeah.
person. I am more productive in the morning, so I love getting up early. I start work sometimes at 6:30 in the morning.
No, I could never.
Um, just because once I get past lunch, my brain starts to go to sleep. It's like
Fair
I need
enough. Yeah.
an hour's nap, after a good dinner or lunch. But in the morning, I just need to power through. So I love being able to like choose the hours that suit me better, and then balance it with time that I can spend with my friends and family.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, like that's if you thrive in the mornings and in a corporate job, that just wouldn't fly. You can't be like, oh, I'll start 3 hours early and finish 3 hours like early. It just doesn't work like that. So the fact that
Mhm.
that's obviously a massive pro. And I love that. What off the back of that, what has been the hardest part of starting your own business and being self-employed?
Cool. I'd say there's been a lot of learning curves, as with any business. I think getting into a routine or like getting your onboarding kind of flow down has been crucial. It was really hard for me in the beginning because I would jump from like one thing to another because my brain was working at a million miles per hour trying to like remember what I needed to do where. So I think the hardest part was just like getting into that routine. But then once you're kind of into the run of it, it just gets so much easier once you've got it all down and you've
Yeah.
got like a good onboarding system or like project management system.
Yeah. I think it's the practice, isn't it? It's just like, onboarding a client, getting everything set up messily and then doing it, better the next time, having more of a system the next time. And I think it's just like anything in life, like the first things you do are messy and you always can clean them up and you can always make them more efficient. But it's like if you never start it, then you don't have the opportunity to like make it into like this perfect flow.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to make mistakes to learn from, don't you?
100%. And then what does the future hold for VA Vida? What's your plans going forward for the business?
For now, I just want to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm
Yeah.
working with some really great people. I want to get into a good routine of like, smashing out some great work for them because I really feel passionate about, what they do and I really love working with them. And then I just want to keep building, building and building and building. Maybe I would love to have someone working with me in like a little team,
Yeah.
but we'll see. Slowly, slowly.
Honestly, I think I definitely see that in your future in the, even that can happen in a couple of months. Basically, once you get to like at a phase where you're like, okay, do I want to be working this many hours? Bring on a team member, bring on an associate. Like there's so much that you can do, long term. But it's great that you've got so much experience already, learned so many new skills, also identified a lot of your existing skills that you had. I think that's a big thing for confidence is figuring out like, okay, actually I did have a lot of skills and I do have a lot of skills and they are really useful to business owners. I think that's definitely something that like so many people struggle with to begin with.
Yeah, and as well, I think sometimes if you're confident in yourself, I think I learned this from doing the course with you, especially. Like if you're confident in yourself, you attract clients who will kind of be more relaxed with you. And I think if you've got a client who's relaxed and feels confident in you, and you feel confident in yourself, then the relationship just goes so well, and the work just naturally hits that good point. If that makes any sense at all, it
Yeah.
makes sense in my head.
No, thank you.
But yeah, I think having that kind of relationship and trust with someone not only puts yourself at ease, like thinking, yeah, I've got this, but it also puts your client at ease as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that's a good takeaway for anyone listening is that, like, with the confidence side of things, it does come with time and practice and with taking all the steps. And I just feel like, it can be hard to sometimes think about, like, okay, how is anyone going to take me seriously? Like, I don't even have a business yet, to like when you have the business set up and launch, and then you might only have a basic social media page, but then you have more confidence because you're like, okay, I do actually have a legitimate business. And then you have more of a social media presence and you're like, okay, you're even more confident then because everything is done properly and everything does look good because you've done it in the right order. And I just think that, yeah, if anyone here is listening that feels like it's a big daunting road ahead, it's just all such like building blocks along the way that like everything gets easier, confidence gets built literally every single day as you kind of go through the process.
Yeah, absolutely. I think as well, we used to talk about this in the group chat with the girls in the course about imposter syndrome. I think that's such a big thing in the beginning, but
Huge.
it really does go away.
I mean, that is a massive, massive win. Even like your business is only like 4 months old, and to be feeling that way versus when you started is incredible. And that's a credit to, I will say, anyone watching. Like you came to every single group call, stayed for the whole thing. You were in the WhatsApp group every single day. Like you were putting up social media posts again every single day so we could give you feedback. You weren't just sitting back and like cruising, like you were really, really putting in the effort to, build your skills, continue to grow every single day. And I feel like that's why you are where you are now after a few months.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I was a keen bean.
You
I was
were.
there.
And you really were like when we were in the road, you were such a big part of the community. I feel like you were in there, you were hyping everyone up, you're keeping like such momentum going. And I also know you were definitely an inspiration for some other people as well, because I've got messages from other people. And I just think that's such a nice, it's so great to be that person and to be everyone's like cheerleader and supporter and also be getting support. But yeah, I just feel like every group of like, whether it's a program or a group of friends, like you were a great addition to the overall vibe of the program, I would say.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you. That's really
Yeah,
nice to hear.
it was so nice. And I love when people are like really on the ball and like really, really involved, because then it means that you get out of it what you want, and
Yeah.
you get to hit your goals. And I guess what would your advice be to someone who is thinking about starting, or they're in the early days and they're just feeling the imposter syndrome that we kind of spoke about?
I think if you're in the early stages, you've just got to do everything that that need tells you, do it. Okay. Whether that's a 15-day real challenge or a month real challenge, just do it.
I know, brutal,
Um,
but it's good.
yeah, I think like even if you have to kind of go through it blind in the beginning, just go, and then you kind of get your vision back as you start going.
Yeah,
I'm coming out with some weird metaphors today,
I
but you know
like
what I
that though.
mean.
Yeah, it's a good
And
one.
like you start off like not knowing what you're doing, and then like the confidence and the imposter syndrome like will go away the more like experience you get, and the more you just put yourself out there. Like at the end of the day, you're connecting with other humans, and if you're
Yeah,
connecting with the people that you want to connect with, then they're not going to be I don't know, mad at you or something. You
yeah,
just got to be upfront, be honest, and be yourself. I think
yeah.
that's how I looked at it.
Yeah, it's really, really good advice for anyone that is listening. And what has your experience been so far with like, the industry online? So I feel like it's very different to like the online world when you're an online business owner and you make connections online. I found it to be a very nice, positive space compared to what I was expecting, I guess, when I started.
Yeah, I think people are a lot more understanding. As a VA, I think mainly I target or work with smaller businesses that aren't quite established. And I think everybody's kind of in the same boat, and they're kind of like, they understand if you're just starting because they've been there too, or maybe they're just starting around a similar time to you, and
Yeah,
you kind of collaborate and work together and build each other up. So I think the community is more of like, you help build each other rather than tear each other down, I think is what I
100%.
found.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, agreed. I feel like it's a really nice space to be in once you start. And I think that's also just good advice, is to just build as many connections as you can with like online business owners, people at the same stage of their journey, people at, a bit behind, a bit below. It's a great network to have, because not only will it just keep you sane throughout the journey, but it brings opportunities as well, like as life goes on and connections and relationships with different people. You just never know what will come from that.
Yeah, I think like just having conversations with people, even if you're not trying to get work or work with them, like, but just having conversations, every few weeks or once a month, like that could potentially lead into something. And if not, it's someone that you can still have a connection with and
Yeah.
like help support in different ways down the line.
Yeah.
I've had a couple of experiences like that along the way, and they've been really good.
Yeah, love that. Amazing. Okay, so if anyone is interested in getting social media support, event support with or any potential website builds, I'm going to tag you in this. I'm going to when I post the replay. And is Instagram your main platform? Is that the best place to find you?
Yes, Instagram.
Okay, amazing. Thank you so much for coming on. It was so nice to chat to you and hear about how you are and how things are going. And yeah, absolute inspo for anyone thinking of starting and feeling scared what it's possible within a few short months.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been really nice.
You are very welcome. Well, have a lovely evening and I'll chat to you very soon.
Yeah, talk to you soon.
Bye bye.
Bye.